Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Jumpstart Monday. This is Michael Virardi, and it's the 13th of December. Today, we have a very interesting episode, which is all about tension and trust. But first, let me tell you the story. Very recently, I was running two keynote speeches for a huge company in Austria called Palfinger and worldwide. And they asked me, how can I become a better manager, a better leader, deliver a better customer experience, and even become a better salesperson? And I talked to them about a simple ratio, which is tension versus trust. If you want to become all of the things that I mentioned earlier, there is only one thing you need to do: lower the tension and increase the trust. And today, with my associate Sofia, we're going to be giving you 4 ways to lower the tension and increase the trust. Let me tell you that we're broadcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we will get to your comments and to your questions because some people have already sent questions in at the end of this episode. So let's start first and foremost with the first way. Sofia, number 1 is be on time. I see a lot of people who delay to reach their appointments. I see a lot more who always say, they put a tag on themselves saying that I'm always like this, I'm always late. No, my friend. If you want to lower the tension and increase the trust, be on time. And there is a solution for this. If you want to be on time, plan to be early. If your appointment is at 9 a.m., make arrangements to be there 8:45. Because at the end of the day, if now you need me, in inverted commas, to sign the deal for you and you are late without even informing me, because you can be late by informing the other person, it shows respect. When I will need you after the product is broken or the service needs something to move forward, then probably in my head, you will be registered as a person who is not punctual, a person who I cannot depend on. So the solution, Sofia, and everyone who's listening in, is if you want to be on time, plan to be early. And Sofia, there is some research done by Harvard Business School, and this is also my experience, that people attribute their failure to the price factor. My price was higher, my competition undercut us. No, my dear friends, 6% of the times, according to Harvard, 6% only, it is down to price. The rest of the times, it's down to us, the sales representative, the experience, the overall experience. It's about lowering the tension, increasing the trust. Number 1 is be on time. Number 2 is know your product or service. For me, knowing your product or service means one thing: mental freedom. Mental freedom to concentrate on your prospect, on the person you have sitting right opposite you, on their body language, on their facial expressions when you explain the features and you turn them into benefits. If you know your product or service, and if you go one step further and you know your competition's product or service, then you start increasing the trust and lowering the tension. Then you're in a better position to preserve your margins, your profitability, and differentiate yourself from your competitors who are looking inside their leaflets to find the answers that their customer and your customer is asking for. So this takes us to tip number 3 and to Sofia, which is give value before you ask. Sofia, take it away.
Yes, tip number 3 is give value before you ask. There is a reason why Google is a more prominent search engine for internet instead of Yahoo. And the reason is when you open Google, you see a clean page, there is no advertisement. You search for what you want to find, and then they bring you the advertisement. Google had a different, let's say, philosophy on the matter. They were showing the advertisements
Yahoo,
first.
not Google, Yahoo.
Yahoo. Yeah.
Yes.
So the idea is give value before you ask. For example, if you want to ask for a favor, if you want to ask for a recommendation, if you want to ask for someone's business, first show what you can do for them. First, give them something. If, for example, you want to get someone for a client, maybe give them a little taste of what it is to work with you, what it is to have you solve their problems. And that brings me to the next tip number 4, under promise and over deliver. This is a saying that one of my old bosses used to say to me. Under promise and over deliver is, if you do that, you not only increase the trust and reduce the tension, but you also bring an element of surprise.
Correct.
Let me give you one example. If someone calls you and asks for a proposal for your services, and you know you can deliver the proposal tomorrow, you can, for example, tell them, no problem, I will prepare it, I will send it to you tomorrow. But in the meantime, maybe something comes up. I don't know, someone is sick and you have to go, there is an emergency, and suddenly tomorrow comes and you cannot deliver that proposal. And then you are in the position that you have to excuse yourself, and you lower the trust with the other person. You increase the tension. You look like someone who is not reliable. Instead, you could promise that you could deliver the proposal on Friday and you finish it tomorrow. And then when they receive it, they are positively surprised. They say, wow, this person delivers what they promised before the day that they promised. And if I can give you one extra tip on that, when you promise, let's say, to deliver something tomorrow, it doesn't mean you have to deliver it at the end of the day at 7 in the evening. It means you deliver it in the morning, maximum at noon, because that's the time where the person sits at their office and they will see that you deliver what you promise.
Because
So
if
this
they
is
call you beforehand, Sophia, you're right. If they call you beforehand and they ask, where is my offer at 5 p.m., and you tell them it's on its way coming, they might not believe you. So they increase the tension and you
Yes,
lower the trust. Very good tip.
exactly,
Excellent tip.
exactly. So I will hand it over to you to recap what we said.
Okay. 4 tips to increase the trust and lower the tension. Number 1, be on time. If you want to be on time, plan to be early. Remove your excuses, remove your framing, the framing that came from your parents, grandparents, or you framed yourself. You shouldn't be late for your appointments. If you want to be on time, plan to be early. Secondly, know your product or knowledge, your service. This means mental freedom to concentrate on your customer. Your competition probably is not doing it, so know your product or service and know your competitors' products or services. Number 3, give value before you ask. Always try to help the other person before you make an ask. And Sophia has given us 2 excellent examples. It's exactly what happened between Sophia and myself. Sophia has given me so much value before she even made an ask, and she didn't even make the ask. I made the ask to collaborate together. Number 4, under promise and over deliver. So if you promise someone to deliver something by Thursday, you have to deliver it early Thursday or late in the afternoon on Wednesday, because you will pleasantly surprise them. You will increase the trust and you will lower the tension. And Sophia, if you allow me to give another tip that happened to me just a few minutes ago. My dear friends, when somebody calls you and you're busy, for example, now that we're running this program, this live show, please don't send one of these pre-ready messages where you do, because when you send the message, it immediately hangs up the phone and you hear beep, 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 beep. So the other person thinks that what you're doing is more important than myself. So what do? Let it ring and you call them back as soon as you finish or as soon as you're available. A lot of people think that they're very punctual, think that they are very professional, and they send the SMS, which I don't know if they know or not, hangs up the phone and says to the other person, I'm busy right now. In my books, it says what I'm doing right now is more important than you. And you don't want to give that impression to your customer. So, Sophia, before we see the comments for today, can you tell me if we had any questions from any of our friends and fans?
Yes, we had 2 questions. One was from, and I see him here, I think. Andreas Chrysouliotis. He said, in case you have a rupture of trust, how can you recover the trust that you had with this person? Can you give us some tips?
Sophia, the easy answer, Andreas, the straight answer is you cannot. It's not easy to recover the trust. But if I give you the difficult answer, it is that you should be very, very honest with the other person even before they find out. And I'm going to reveal something that I never revealed here before. I used to date a girl many, many years ago, just in case Christine is listening in, and she wasn't that faithful, and she was very honest, and she told me. I know that might not sound good to you, but it sounded good to me at the time. There was trust coming out of the ruins of distrust, and we continued that relationship for many years. So you need to be very honest and admit it before the other person finds out. Sophia, any suggestions to Andreas?
Yeah, I think trust is like a bank account. When you make a big withdrawal, you will need to invest time and money in order to rebuild that bank account. And it depends also on the personality of the person. As Michael said, for some people you can never rebuild it. For others, it will take some time. You need to show that you're consistent, that you're honest, that you care about this person, and slowly you will rebuild the relationship.
Very well said, Sophia. I truly agree. Let's see some of our friends. Rosa, how you doing? Great to have you. We talked about Palfinger. It was with Rosa and her colleagues, some of her colleagues. Denica, that we were working together. So Rosa can vouch what we said the previous week, Sophia. Nick Nicolaides says, good morning and have a good week. As Robin Sharma said very well, business is a conversation. Very true. Lose the conversation with your teammates, customers, and suppliers, and you will lose your business. I love it.
Exactly.
I'll take a screenshot of this. Thank you very much. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it as a post as well. I love it. Love it. Sophia, can you tell me if we had another question? I think
Yes,
one from Nikos Kallikas, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. He's asking, which two companies are you trusting?
Nikos Kallikas, oh, what a difficult question. And to be honest, I love the question, but it's also difficult. Let me give you an example on home soil and one from abroad. The company that I trust on home soil is Forsos Tavern. Forsos Tavern, yes, a small tavern, beautiful tavern for all of you that plan to visit Cyprus or are from Cyprus and never been there. I love this tavern, and they're not Virardi customers because, we have a family business with catering equipment and tabletop supplies. And yes, I want you to support us. They do not support us, but I admire them still. Why? Because they have consistency. If you go on a Monday, the food will be as good as on a Saturday, they are very busy. If you go in January, the food will be as good as it was in December. They have consistency. And consistency doesn't mean, Nikos, to be 10 out of 10. You can be 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But have that consistency. A lot of restaurants or cafes, or for that matter, any place of business, once it's good, once it's bad, once it's good, once it's bad. And when you don't have consistency, you will lose out. Customers will not be able to trust you, and there will be tension in there. So I admire and I trust Forsos for their consistency, but also for being polite and very prompt and positive. Second company that I trust, and I know that many of you might disagree with me, especially my friend Stavros Galatariotis, but the company that I do trust when it comes to their processes is Amazon. Whenever I don't get a book, or I get a book that is ripped to pieces, or it has one page torn, and I ask Amazon for a replacement, no questions asked, they replace everything, or they tell me keep that book and we'll send you another one, it's on its way. So I trust the process. I never have any tension inside my body saying that when I tell these people, they might not believe me, which happened to me in many cafes when I said I don't like the coffee very much, and they started saying, but what don't you like about the coffee? It's exactly the same coffee that you had yesterday, it's Costa Rica, and what do you mean you don't like it? It's exactly the same process. And then I have to explain myself. So I think Amazon is showing the way in terms of trust, in terms of their process. So these are the two. Sophia, any suggestions? I don't know if you have any company that
No, as I was listening to you, I think the common thread that I saw is that they have processes, and it's all about operations. It's all about having the processes and the people there to make sure you deliver the same thing every time. And it's not easy, especially with bigger businesses where they have different people working on the same thing, to make sure that every time something is delivered to the customer is the same.
Sophia, continue doing great work, and they will watch you all the way from Malaysia. They will be watching our online
Hi,
program.
James.
Yes. Hello, James. Hello, everyone. A lot of people, Georgia, Vaso, Vardaki, Rosa, Stelios, all of you guys, we are obliged and thank you very much and honored. Sophia, anything else, any more announcements, or we can call it a day?
I think that's it for
That's
today.
it. Guys, we are in the 15-minute mark. We said we never surpass the 15-minute mark, short and sweet, but we did surpass it. Thank you very much for being present. It's all about tension and trust. And I will repeat this. It's not about your price. People think it's about their price because it doesn't hurt their ego. I lost out. The customer didn't come. It was my price. It wasn't me. So as soon as you start blaming the price, you won't improve. So it's all about tension versus trust. Take good care. Thank you very much for being present. Bye-bye.